Facebook and the South African Police Service have teamed up to help find missing children. Now, the first of its kind in Africa, the Amber Alert system, will enable the South African Police Service to seek assistance from the public when it is suspected that a child has been abducted and there's reason to believe that there's an immediate risk or serious danger to the health or welfare of the child. Now, through Facebook's newsfeed, the Amber Alert enables people to instantly share important information about the missing child and suspected abductor, such as a photograph, hair color, clothing, with their friends, family, and Facebook groups. So to tell us more about this, I'm joined now by Emila Gandhi, who is Facebook Head of Public Policy in the SADC region, and Brigadier Atti Lamprecht, Section Head for Crime Stop and Bureau for Missing Persons at the South African Police Service. Thank you so much to both of you for coming through. So, firstly, I mean, Facebook, of course, is a very effective tool for communication. So, what did you decide, would be the first and most prominent feature for this particular Amber Alert?
So, with the Amber Alert, we thought, how can we as Facebook complement the efforts that the law enforcement agencies like the SAPS, the child safety organizations and policymakers are doing to ensure that the community itself is safe. So Amber Alert in itself is a tool, an additional tool in the toolbox to ensure that children are safe in South Africa. We know the scourge that has been, engulfing the country, and we thought, how can we help? People are already sharing Facebook. I'm sure if you have a Facebook account, you've seen pictures of, children that are missing. But with this, it will be a prominent alert on your newsfeed. When you log into Facebook, that's the first thing that you'll see, that a child is missing, with all the information, the poster with hair color, details, how to contact SAPS. So for us, in consultation with SAPS, was how can we ensure that we can help with this partnership? So
it would have a particular look and feel that would obviously make it stand out, so that this one is something that has been brought up in consultation with the SAPS.
Definitely, yes. And also, with over 28 million people using Facebook in South Africa per month, most of them coming on mobile, it will be mobile friendly, so that people can actually see this is the information. If you happen to see the alert, it means that you are in a search radius that's relevant, and you can help. Every second counts when a child is missing. So it will have the look and the feel, and it will only come from the South African Police Service with that poster and in the news feed, so that you can share it with your friends, with your network, with your audiences, and also share it on other platforms.
Brigadier Lamprecht, how big is the problem of missing children in South Africa?
At this point in time, over the last 3 years, when we calculate the figures, a child is reported as missing every 10 hours in South Africa. Now, I must also just emphasize that does not mean that each one of those children are in danger, because there are different reasons why children disappear. And I think the beauty of the Amber Alert is that we can now really drill into where children are in desperate need of intervention. There's just no way that a 4-year-old child walk away from home. It's a child that's in danger.
And then just with regard to how you actually disseminate this information, how long does it take from the SAPS to get that alert through to Facebook? Because time obviously becomes an important factor.
Time is critical. And for that reason, we also again want to urge people, time is critical. Report immediately to the South African Police Service when a child disappears. What will happen is the moment the investigator contacts us, which will most probably an investigator from family violence, child protection and sexual offences, who are now mandated to investigate those type of cases, the investigator will require an Amber Alert, and we will within minutes complete the Amber Alert. It is then sent to Facebook's head office, and minutes after that, it will be distributed to the target area where that child, where the geolocation that we forwarded to them, where that child disappeared. So it should not take longer than an hour from first report.
So how will you actually complement what you are offering to what people are already doing at the moment? Because if you're on social media, you already see a lot of these missing persons alert, missing children alerts. So if people are doing that, is there a mechanism, a way in which they can actually then get in touch with the SAPS such that it can be taken up through the Amber Alert?
It's a very valid point. We unfortunately sit with the dilemma that people become missing child fatigued. Because when they go onto Facebook, you have all these missing children, and sometimes it's very outdated. Many times it's a long time back at home, it's not verified with the police. I'm not saying that the NGOs are not doing good work, they're doing sterling work. But what will happen here is the Amber Alert is supposed to go out very rarely, only in exceptional cases. It might be, well, we hope that we'll never have to issue an Amber Alert, but the reality is historically it will come sooner than we want, but it will be only in exceptional cases. That Amber Alert, obviously people can capture it and send it on, but the system is designed in such a way that that Amber Alert will only be active for 24 hours to that Facebook user in the area. But I think where it becomes really powerful is if an Amber Alert is issued for, let's say, Johannesburg. A child disappeared in African Mall. Immediately you reach the people in that area that has access to Facebook. But now we have a sighting of this child in Polokwane. The Amber Alert is then closed. It is withdrawn, it disappears from your phone, and it is reissued in Polokwane, 2 people in a 160-kilometer radius. And that makes it a very prominent, powerful tool in investigation against crime.
So this has already been rolled out in countries like the United States, like New Zealand, for example. How's it worked, Emila?
So first of all, we're excited that this is the first time we are launching this in Africa. So South Africa is the 23rd country in the world. And in other countries, it's working very well. But I think one thing that we need to take out of this is safety is a shared responsibility. And also the media plays a very important role in ensuring that our users in the community are educated and they know more about this tool. We always say that raising a child, it takes a village to raise a child, but now it takes a village to protect the child as well. So it's working well in other countries. For example, in 2015 in the Netherlands, there was a Dutch boy, 12 years old, who went missing, and an Amber Alert for the first time in Europe was issued on that day, and he was found within hours. So those are some of the success examples. But for it to work out, I think people need to know more about it and also to alert the police when they get the alert.
And perhaps just on erring on the side of caution, when we talk about releasing the details of suspected abductors, you could be opening yourself up to litigation in some instances, couldn't you, Brigadier?
If it's done recklessly, absolutely. And that is the reason why the due diligence process need to be followed. If a registration number and a vehicle description, etc., there will most probably be something like CCTV footage or whatever the investigator provides at that point in time. Wild allegations, no. An Amber Alert cannot be issued on such grounds. It will be certain, because you're quite correct. It can boomerang. Innocent people can get hurt in the process. Yeah, true.
So when is all of this going live? Is it live already? When is all of this happening?
Yeah, so it went live on Thursday, the 30th of January in South Africa. So it's live, and while we are not expect, as the Brigadier said, it's rare, but whenever it's going to be issued, we hope that it will come to a good, positive conclusion and help find missing children. So it's live, and we hope people will use it. We know that people come to Facebook to connect, to talk to each other, to talk to friends, and people have been sharing this organically, and we thought, how best can we complement these efforts? So we are here, and we are proud of the partnership that we have with the South African Police Service.
And just finally, Brigadier, how do people go about alerting the South African Police Service about a missing child?
Well, firstly, go to your nearest police station, report immediately. There's no waiting period. If a person cannot go to the police station, phone 10111. The police will send out a vehicle. Then there's a form that needs to be completed, quite detailed, because we want to know all the bodily features of the missing child, the circumstances, etc. Photograph, because it's important. In order to activate an Amber Alert, you need proper information. You cannot say a child disappeared. If we have a photograph, it will help just much more. specific features. This is the clothing that the child wore. The moment that it's reported and these national instructions be issued within the South African Police Service, then the FCS, Family Violence, Child Protection, Sexual Offences Detective will contact the Bureau for Missing Persons and request an urgent Amber Alert 24/7. As is the case with Facebook, it will quickly be compiled, verified, and it will run. So it starts with the police. Only the South African Police Service can request Facebook to activate an Amber Alert.
Well, we certainly will be on the lookout for it. Thank you to Emila Gandhi, Facebook Head of Public Policy in the SADC region, and Brigadier Atti Lamprecht, Section Head for Crime Stop and Bureau for Missing Persons at the South African Police Service. And they're talking to us about a partnership between the South African Police Service and Facebook on an initiative called Amber Alert to help find missing children.